According to the 2025 8th Zambia National Human Development Report, Zambia's Human Development Index (HDI) can be improved by 1% by 2030 and 3% by 2050. The HDI is a composite statistic used to rank countries by levels of social and economic development based on three key issues. That is, health, education, and standards of living. The non-governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council took part in attending this launch and graced the panel of discussion. NGOCC Executive Director Anne Mbewe-Anamela highlighted the differentiated impacts of climate change on women and girls.
I'd like to include those with disability as well. So until we get to a point where we understand what the differentiated impacts are, then our responses will not be effective or impactful. And I like to bring things down to very, very practical examples. For example, when we have a drought and issues of access to water are a challenge, I think we all know that women, especially in the rural areas, are the ones that go out there and look for water. But then there are other issues. For example, if a pregnant woman has to deliver a baby, you need water. Even just for the whole process, you need water. And if there is no water, what is the impact on that pregnant woman? I like to bring things down to a reality. So, and then if, for example, water sources are very far, how does a person with disability, maybe who's immobile, get to the water sources? So that's the reality that we need to drill down.
And Ms. Anne Mbewe-Anamela further stressed on how the organization has taken keen interest on climate change and adaptation by equipping women through capacity building on various survival skills.
Sensitizing communities on issues of climate adaptation, and as NGOCC personally, we have, climate change and adaptation is one of our key strategies when we look at improving the resilience of women to shocks. We're not experts in climate change, but we have partnerships with those that are. And we look at alternative energy sources, especially for cooking. We look at agriculture practices. So we do have interventions, but mostly around education, around knowledge, and sometimes even facilitating links with, for example, Ministry of Agriculture. But sensitization, I think, is something that government and civil society needs to hold hands to ensure that communities understand issues of climate change, communities understand what their role is in making things worse, or how they can help improve issues and ensure that our future is protected. But even in that, we need to not only look at understanding, communities understanding, but providing solutions. If we talk about stopping to use charcoal, what alternative solutions are available at the moment? You don't stop one thing when 60% of the population depends on charcoal. What will happen if you don't have any source of energy for cooking in these homes? So while we look at solutions that help in environmental sustainability, we need to look at the same time at solutions that will not disadvantage certain groups even more.
The event, which attracted various stakeholders, was hosted by UNDP in Lusaka on the 19th of June 2025.